Welcome back, everyone. Well, as you know, we're always talking about all the unique places you can go in the North Country and all the gems and all the hidden secrets and all of that. And of course, we live in an incredibly historically relevant part of the world also, considering the wars that were fought for our freedom and all of that. And lo and behold, in Ticonderoga, there are a couple of buildings that are representative of a lot of what I just mentioned. And joining me today is the assistant to the president of Ticonderoga Historical Society, Diane O'Connor. So welcome, Di.
Thank you.
Very nice to have you. A little more backfill on this one. It was a rainy Saturday a couple of weeks ago, and my wife and I hopped in the car in Hague and went up to Ticonderoga because the Hancock House is there. And those of you who have seen the Hancock House know what I'm talking about. But this is an exact replica of the John Hancock House in Boston that was replicated in Ticonderoga by one of its native sons, Horace Moses. Now, before I get in too deep and expose myself, you are the historian. So I want to cycle back on this. Why does the Hancock House exist?
The Hancock House exists because philanthropist Horace Moses chose to build it in Ticonderoga in 1925-26. He built it specifically to entice the New York State Historical Association into moving their headquarters to Ticonderoga.
I got it. Now, Horace Moses, a native of Ticonderoga, grew up not with a silver spoon in his mouth.
No, indeed. He grew up on a family farm just a couple of miles south of the town.
Got it. And he made his fortune in the paper industry, right?
Indeed. He went on to found the Strathmore Paper Company in Massachusetts, but revisited philanthropy back on his hometown.
Yeah, not only, as we had a wonderful conversation before we started taping this, he helped the Boy Scouts of America, right?
Yes.
He was involved with junior achievement. Again, you know, so a lot of these wealthy individuals from that period were really involved in a lot of philanthropic enterprises and interests, weren't they?
Absolutely, and I think he saw himself much in the mold of Andrew Carnegie and gave a great deal back to the community.
Now, in Ticonderoga, you have to see Hancock House. My wife wandered in and we met Diane. Diane was there. And asked her a ton of questions, and of course she's a fountain of knowledge, and the other people that were in the house were also. And a killer grandfather clock with chimes that would rip your head off. But he also, there's a stunning municipal building right downtown Ticonderoga. He's responsible for that as well.
Yes, indeed. He built that as a gift to the people of Ticonderoga.
And what was its purpose?
Well, its purpose has always been as a community building. It now houses the town offices, but it also contains a great deal of public meeting space. There's a wonderful auditorium on the second floor, and it's a great resource.
Again, it's the type of building that if you're driving by in a car, you just pull over. You cannot believe the architecture. Absolutely stunning building. Two other things Horace Moses did. There's a monument at the circle when you're coming into Ticonderoga, and that monument is incredibly intricate and tells quite a story. So first, let's set it up. Who is responsible for that?
Horace Moses commissioned that monument from the New York City artist Charles Keck, and it was done specifically for the dedication of the Hancock House in 1925-26.
Now, tell us a bit about the monument, because it's got soldiers from different eras representing different parts of the history that Ticonderoga played a part in, right? Yeah.
The top of the monument is a larger-than-life, very inspiring statue of liberty personified. The four soldiers, or individuals rather, stationed around the bottom portion of the monument represent the four groups that took part in Ticonderoga's historic military battles. And they are a French soldier of the French and Indian War period, a Scots Highlander who fought very bravely under the British, an American patriot soldier of the American Revolution, and a Native American The Native Americans were very instrumental on all sides in all of those conflicts.
Yeah, that's so true. You know what? We're going to cycle back on that in a second. But if you look at the way this monument is enormous, it's beautiful, and the way the soldiers all interact with each other and the way they're looking up at liberty is really quite fascinating.
It's very inspirational.
You know, just to frame it for you, Ticonderoga, if back in that day, if you owned the waterways, you had an incredible advantage in any conflict. And since Ticonderoga was so uniquely situated between the top end of Lake George and the southern end of Lake Champlain,
yes,
it was a very short portage to be able to move troops and equipment between those two waterways, which opened up enormous opportunities in terms of military advantages.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
And you have to go up there. So there's one other little piece I want to touch on. Before you even get to the monument or Hancock House or the Municipal Center, there's a cemetery on the right-hand side of the road, on the east side of the road, that has probably one of the most beautiful little chapels I've ever seen. That's always open.
Yes.
Isn't it? 24/7.
Yes.
Now,
Well,
Horace was involved in that as well. Right?
Absolutely. That was another one of his gifts to the community, was a chapel for everyone to use, and it's still in use today.
Diane, well, I knew this. We would have a lot to talk about. We're going to have you back again because Saturday, August 13th, there's an event going on at Hancock House that we want to tell you about. What website can they go to get some information?
They can go to Ticonderoga Historical Society.org.
Okay, good.
To get more information, or our Facebook page.
Good, got it. And again, firsthand, I've seen every one of these buildings and monuments. They're absolutely fascinating. They all depict an era that's so important to our history and with a lot of information. It's very exciting. Diane, we'll have you back again before the 13th because we want to tell you about this event, and I think you're going to want to go there too. Very nice to meet you and very nice to have you in.
Thank you. It was a delight to be here.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.